told by a source that is connected to the case that it is not Celeste, and therefore it doesn't do what we hoped it would do, right?
I'm a little bit confused that if the body is decomposed and they can't see physically what it is that caused her, I'm not sure a toxicology report necessarily shows that.
How am I supposed to scroll through my feed and just act normal when every new update on this David case makes him look even messier? Seriously, you guys, the death certificate just dropped, and instead of giving us clarity, it made things even more confusing. The medical examiner basically hit us with pending. Cause of death, deferred, which means weeks later, we still don't know if Celeste's death is being treated as natural, accidental, suicide, or homicide. And you couldn't tell me that no one else finds that suspicious, because the internet is definitely not buying the silence. Multiple clips and receipts are going viral all over social media, from the Tesla ticket timeline to videos of David looking way too uncomfortable when a Celeste lookalike comes up to him. Some of it's pretty wild, but overall, the whole investigation feels messy. Is it just me, or do cases like this make you realize how slow the system moves compared to the internet? Like, fans already have Discord screenshots, stream clips, and even deleted Reddit posts, while the cops are still running tests. So we all know that people want answers fast. But if you listen to what investigators are actually saying, it's starting to make sense why David is still walking free. So first things first, you guys, the death certificate for Celeste Rivas Hernandez came out, and it basically told us nothing. Like, the exact words, cause of deferred. That means the autopsy was done, but the medical examiner is waiting on toxicology and tissue testing before they can say anything official. And if you know how these cases usually go, deferred doesn't mean they're dragging their feet. It means something about the body wasn't straightforward. Now, LAPD Captain Scott Williams even admitted that without toxicology, they couldn't call it a homicide yet. And that right there is the catch. Until investigators prove whether she died from trauma, poisoning, drugs, or anything unnatural, they can't pin this on anyone, which is exactly why David is still free right now. Is it just me, or does it feel like every time we get new paperwork in this case, it only raises more questions? The death certificate did shut down one rumor at least. Celeste wasn't pregnant and hadn't been in the last year. A lot of people online were running with theories about her being pregnant as the possible motive, but this officially crossed that off the list. But here's the part that really hits. She was only below the legal age, as y'all know, and to think her body sat in that car for weeks while this man kept touring? No, that is not sitting right with me at all. Remember how Celeste's body was found in David's Tesla? Well, it turns out that car was just sitting around for days before anyone even realized what was inside. According to reports, on August 27th, a parking officer marked the Tesla's tires in Hollywood Hills. Basically, they were clocking how long it had been sitting there. By September 3rd, the officer slapped a ticket on it for breaking the 72-hour parking rule. Then on September 5th, it finally got towed to the Hollywood impound lot. And here's the thing. By the time Celeste was found on September 8th, that car was covered in dust. Like, so much buildup that investigators said it clearly hadn't been touched since late August. Chances are her body was already inside that car the whole time. Private investigator Steve Fisher even pointed this out with photos on X, zooming in on just how much grime was caked on the windshield. He argued that the Tesla wasn't moved or opened in all of those days, which makes the timeline look a lot more damning. But here's where it gets messy. The Tesla was registered in David's name, but reports say multiple people had access to it. So the big question is now, did he personally leave it there, or did someone else use his car to dump the body? And a lot of people online are asking the same thing. Why hasn't David been arrested yet? I mean, his Tesla literally had Celeste's body inside. That alone feels enough, right? But here's the reality, you guys. Prosecutors don't want to just make a flashy arrest. They want a case that can actually survive trial. And that means getting every single piece of evidence before they move. We're talking DNA swabs from the Tesla, fingerprints, phone backups, location pings, Discord logs, TikTok backend data, rideshare records, bank trails, even witness statements that can place him with Celeste at specific times. That stuff doesn't come overnight. Think about it. If they rush and charge him without airtight proof, a good defense lawyer will rip the whole thing apart in court. Then he walks free forever. That's why LAPD is stacking the evidence quietly, making sure that when they finally make a move, it sticks. But there's also the sex crimes angle here. It's one thing to say he groomed her based on internet whispers, but in court, screenshots have to be authenticated. Clips need to be proven original, not edits, and every piece has to be traceable to him. And if there were helpers, people moving cars, cleaning spaces, deleting files, those people have to be pulled in too. So the silence doesn't mean that nothing's happening. Quiet doesn't mean clean. Quiet means they're building a case in the background, and when it hits, it'll be way harder for him to wriggle out of it. Now, this next part is honestly chilling because now new photos are surfacing that make this whole thing even harder to ignore. One of the most talked about ones is an alleged photo of David wearing a wig that looks way too similar to the one Celeste Rivas was often seen in. And I'm sorry, but when you put these two side by side, it is just unsettling. It almost feels like he was mirroring her, like trying to play into her image in some twisted way. But that's not even the part that had fans gasping. What really got people talking was this clip from a meet and greet. So he's meeting fans like normal, smiling, doing his thing, and then someone who looks a lot like Celeste walks up. The second his eyes land on her, his whole body tenses up. His energy changes instantly. And guys, you couldn't tell me that this wasn't suspicious. Fans went off in the comments saying things like, his face really said, wait, I thought I and bro was caught off guard for real. On top of that, there are some concert photos that have just blown this theory wide open. Clips started surfacing from David's show in Silver Spring, Maryland on August 23rd or 24th, and in them, there's a girl in the balcony who looks exactly like Celeste. Same hair, same frame, even a black tube top. The same outfit police later said she was wearing when her body was discovered in his Tesla. If that really was her, this would be the last time she was seen alive, and the timing is chilling. The concert was only about 12 days before his Tesla was towed on September 5th, and 3 days before cops discovered her body on September 8th. But here is where things get tricky. A source close to the case told TMZ the girl in the footage isn't Celeste at all. So officially, it's not confirmed, but unofficially, fans are still sharing and analyzing every frame, trying to lock down whether Celeste was actually at that show. Because if she was, the timeline changes again, and the window of what really happened gets a whole lot smaller. And that's exactly why theories are exploding right now. If the timeline's fuzzy, then so is the narrative. Some people don't think David acted alone. The theory that keeps popping up is that someone else could have Celeste, and her body was just dumped in his Tesla to either frame him or cover his tracks. Celeste's old teacher literally said in his video that after she disappeared the second time, kids at the school were whispering about blackmail. If that's even halfway true, it means there might have been way more people involved than just David.
My classroom. Hold up. That's her in my classroom in front of this poster right here. Okay, hold up. I got another one because I got a picture on TMZ of this other kid exchanging stuff with the rapper who we allegedly did this stuff. Hold on a second, because he's also in my classroom.
How long ago?
And then there's the part that sent chills through everyone. Celeste's mom said when her daughter first went missing back in 2024, she actually got a phone call. The voice on the other end told her not to look for Celeste, that she was fine. After that, silence. No more communication, no way to trace who made the call. You couldn't tell me that isn't suspicious. This is why so many people believe there is way more going on here than just a runaway story. Because if someone was bold enough to call the family family and tell them to stop searching, that points to planning, cover-ups, and maybe even multiple people working together. And you guys, let's be real. The silence from investigators isn't just them stalling. It feels like they're already suspect accomplices. Because let's not act brand new. That Tesla didn't move itself around the Hollywood Hills. If David was really out on tour, then somebody else had to be driving it, which means this whole case might have way more hands in it than anyone expected. But that's not even the end of it. April 2024, Celeste's own brother says she left the house to go see a movie with her boyfriend. Name given? David. Now, I don't even have to say much on that because y'all can connect the dots on this one. Then, fast forward a couple months and David himself is reposting TikToks about chopping meat, adding these creepy, jealous captions. And the final nail? Him posting those clips while people are already questioning his link to a literal missing girl. You couldn't tell me that's just coincidence. Right now, updates are coming in daily. And if this trail really leads back to accomplices, then the silence we're seeing right now might break louder than anyone expects.